Hi everyone, this is Corey here, and long time no see. I finished up my previous game, Multiplication Mayhem, just a little update, and I'm working on a new one called Venusville. For you who don't know who I am, I'm a developer for 15 plus years. I worked really complex, large softwares for blue chip companies in the UK, and I'm also building games and doing complex building systems for games. And today I will work on my new city builder game, Venusville, and what I'm working on at the moment is what I call it the city crumble system. It's easier to show, but technically this city builder is working with the flying city among the clouds of Venus, where you can build on these platforms, and also this can happen. This is what I call the city crumble mechanics. So technically, I'm calculating structural stress for the city, and also balance for the city, what the player can manage, and this kind of elements can crumble your city. If you overreach the city, if you dive deep down in the clouds, and you get very high pressures and temperatures, can crumble your city. So there is multiple ways to actually achieve that. Let me just clean that up again, and then I can explain a little bit more about this. Building nodes, okay. I think I added a couple of them in the end. I not necessarily need. Okay, let's just trim it down to 74. Okay. So I'm able to build the city now, and these little guys walking around and build it. But how you see, they start to get damaged. And here you can see the structural stress on the different sections of the city, which cause some of these tiles are actually giving up if they are damaged too much, and then the city crumbles. Yeah, this shouldn't stay up there. I'm still working on this. And also broken tiles or platforms can cause stress to the neighbor platforms, not necessarily breaking them, but something like that. So if I start it from the 0, and then I will show you soon how I am doing this. So if I cut back the city smaller, I don't know how many I cut, but just randomly wrote in a number. Okay, so this is a much smaller situation, and you see here you can see multiple things. So first, all the platforms are strong enough, like they don't have a significant stress on them, because the city is not larger than what I need. What is the limit? These are not hard limits. You can build several platforms wider than the limit and still get away with it. That's the idea. So it's kind of taking risks before you unlock stronger platforms with on the tech tree. So the 5 is completely fine. So let's start to extend this city a little bit. I have 3 guys down there, I think, who are capable, engineers who are capable to build. So okay, now you see. Okay, so I started to make it large enough, so there is a little structural stress happened in the middle because I made it wider than I should. Okay, and then how that extends. I'm getting these numbers higher. So even if I add, let's say, 1 there, I can't build at the moment here because you can only build 2 tiles or platforms what is already attached properly. But you can see the structural stress is growing. And now, let me add 1 more. And then I will try to do, maybe I want add 1 there. Where is the, okay. And so you see, that's how slowly growing the structure is, and stress. And also, it matters how high we are. So right now it's 79 Celsius and 1.14 atmospheric pressure. We are at 49 kilometers up in the atmosphere. Oops, and we got into some clouds. Oh, because we are sinking. Okay, so what I will do, I will try to make it very unbalanced. So let me see if I place a balloon there, which is elevates, and I put something really heavy on this side, right? So that should make this balloon. This one shows the center, not necessarily the center of the starting point, but where is the geometrical center, and then you see adding that the balloon that side and that one, it's completely took out of balance the city, which will start to show cause structural damage. It's already the platform is getting damaged. What I will work on today, I make this more better readable. You see, the structural stress is mainly from there, which means some of the parts of the city start to crumble. But this side is getting damaged as well. So so you have to very careful how you building different. If you build unbalanced, that can break your city very quickly. If you are overreaching a lot, that can break your city as well. If you go too deep down, that can destroy the city as well. So if I take down that last 2 buildings, which was the battery, right? And I take down the balloon, the last balloon what I built, and you will able to adjust the balloons. I may do that actually today. How much lifting power they provide. But let me see if we can sink the city and break it that way. So now we have a lift. Oh no, it's going down, so I think we are sinking. But now, close to the center, I will build some extra batteries and other. So I'm not trying to get it out of balance, but I'm trying to I don't want to build too far from the center. Okay, so the moment is nicely balanced. But we are sinking about 12 meters per second. So we are getting into the clouds. These are volumetric fogs or clouds. So okay, so 2% only the out of balance, which will not cause stress. I think under 5% is not causing any stress. Yeah, if I could, so I already add here these buttons, so I will able to lower the pressure and with that the buoyancy of each of these balloons, so you can manipulate your altitude with that. And also later on in the game you can unlock, and if you collect enough helium you can improve that. And also I will have propellers as well, both for horizontal movement and vertical movement. So it's kind of like those drones. You can build that, just that one need power. While the balloons always working, but they not give that much lift. But another one is need power. So you see, we are quite rapidly sinking in the atmosphere, almost like 100 kilometers per hour, I think. More or less 62 meters per second. Or okay, start to find the equilibrium in the clouds. So it's get very foggy here. But we are in these sulfuric clouds at the moment. And how you see, we are already at 2.2 and 117 Celsius down in the atmosphere. So that's cause some extra stress from now on for the city, because I think the limit is at the moment 2 atmosphere, but I think it's just the step size is like 60 Celsius and 1 atmosphere. So I have to go down more deep, because right now I'm not sinking quickly enough. So let's add some more batteries. I think that's one of the heaviest buildings. Well, I didn't want to put that there because that will put me out of balance. I will put something on this side as well. Let's put another one here somewhere. Oh, okay. 3.69. That's not that bad. Little bit bigger if we do that will not cause much more stress for the distance. But okay, 6.18. I don't want to get ourselves really far out of balance. Okay, that helps. And if I put this battery, I think that will help to keep it in balance. I want to sink down into the atmosphere as deep as I can. Okay. And then building up this. Yeah, okay. You see, we are down to 3.9. But it's already 130 Celsius. So you will see this will update when we go deeper. Oh, some bug with the fence generator. I still have a lot of bugs here and there. Okay. Build one more of that, but that will give us some buoyancy because okay. Yes, so you see how that's even 3.72 atmosphere, so it is giving us a lot more structural stress, and we are soon actually will get under the clouds. Yes, and it will be above us, the cloud layer, I think. Or is that 30? Yeah, we're still in the bottom of the cloud layer. Okay, we need to go even more down, so let me build one with something else. Okay, that will push us through the limit. Yeah. I think I have to actually lower the yeah, I think we are start to get out of the clouds. No, still 38 kilometers, so still there is. Yeah, maybe I just add the buoyancy. Yeah, we reached 4. So yeah, how you go really deep is reaching, but I think I would change the steps to half atmosphere. The 60 Celsius I'm happy with because that's not rising that quickly, not at this height, but I think I have to change that because I would expect if we are already double as air pressure, then the ship is certified, then you should start to get damaged. So okay, let me see how I did that, or let me show you then how I did. So I have a city system. I have though a lot of systems in this already. So I store all kind of information what is needed to get from from all around the city in the city data scriptable object, which is shared between the different managers. The reason for this is because I'm trying to build everything as usual decoupled. So here I store and always these values are either something what is like a lookup value, or if it's a variable which is changing, then it's something what is only written from by one manager and read by multiple ones to share those kind of data. So I have 3 curves at the moment for atmospheric density curve, the temperature curve, and the pressure curve. I can show these. So these curves represents how the pressure changes, the temperature changes, and the density changes throughout the atmosphere. It's technically 0 to 100 kilometer. So 1 unit is a kilometer on this. About 60 miles is 100 kilometers. And temperature curve, how is it goes from 0 to 450 Celsius. I'm not sure how much is that in Fahrenheit, sorry. But very, very hot, like your oven. By 3. And I have other variables here for wait. So the current altitude, which is calculated by your buoyancy, your movement speed, vertical speed, which is also here. That's created by the, I think, is the balance manager doing it? Yes. No, the buoyancy manager. Sorry, balance manager is responsible for the balance of the city. So it's called, I will go through that, but technically how I did that is through calculating these values. I also need to know where is the geometric center of the city. This is to be able to show the balance indicator. One of the reasons is why I have to do that, because you're not necessary when you build your city, you're not necessarily will stay in the middle. What is 0, 0 point as a starting point on the city? What if you just start to build forward and never put a platform backward? Then your geometric center will be not at 0, 0. So it's always calculates that by the tiles, where is the geometric center. And then also it calculates where is the weight center of the weight. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. What I call balance center, actually, because it's not just weight, because I also have to handle kind of negative weight, because some of the pressure is acting upward on the city. So there are like the balloons, or later on of the different propellers, engines, whatever we will use, is can create upward force as well. So that's what the summary of that is, that indicators what you've seen earlier. And then some kind of helping values, the difference vector and difference angle. That's mainly used at those indicator what you've seen, which shows the angle of the and the size of the imbalance. Okay, so that one is stored here in the city data script table object. which I need to update because I have a couple of new ones like total torque and tilt angle and tilt direction and so on. Yeah, well. And then I have a city action, which is called when some of these data changes or the stress map changes and generated. The stress map is that map what those bars what represented on top of the city of the amount of stress of the different platforms. Okay, and then I have a buoyancy manager, which just running through it is actually just calculating, takes all the weight, offsets it by the distance to the geometric center and the buoyancy, and then calculates the total weight and the total buoyancy, and by that it gives us these values of our speed, and because we know our altitude and the delta altitude, so the changes on that, and then moves the city up and down depending on that value. Also, through the actions that's picked up by the Enviro system, and it moves the cloud layer upper or downer depending on where are we. I move the planet around the city instead of moving the city through the planet or in the planet. So that one maybe is interesting. And what else is interesting here? Okay. So balance manager is really calculating the imbalance and also send those values through the with the events and city data to the balance indicator, which shows that imbalance. But what is interesting now is the overload manager, which is calculating all the amount of overload. So it creates this stress map nodes, which is those coulombs on top of the city when we are looking at far away, and I have this overlay for it to do that. So it just generates that one. The reason I'm not going very deep on these, it listens all kind of the construction actions and then updates every time the overload amount. And now into the code. So city crumble manager, that's the beast what I'm wrestling right now with. So it's have a set of building nodes. Building nodes, you see I manipulated that earlier. That has all the different buildings and some information like its position and state and weight and buoyancy of it. So all of that managed by or held by the nodes. Stat action, that's if a statistics change on a building, like the structural integrity, what you keep seeing going down. That was one of them. Construction action and crumble building data. So this one is another scriptable object where I collect all those nodes, platforms which should crumble, and buildings when we reach the limit. So the city breaks if how you see some of those tiles or platforms got darkened. Later on I want to do a different texture which is actually will have cracks. So when it's all the cracks on, then when it's reached one end to the another end of a section, and it's technically separates the city to more than one unit, like I do a calculation which is go through and select different interconnected sections, and if finds more than one interconnected section parts, then crumbling down makes fall down the part which is smaller. Yes. And then, yes, I'm collecting the functional and damage platforms in just a hush set, because I have to check neighbors, and often the same neighbor, multiple ones has the same neighbors. But let's just go to the code. So I listen for a lot of events, because if the statistic change of one of the element, one of the tile, then I have to make sure it is relevant. So if it's the critical stud bond, is the one which goes to 0, because it can have multiple statistics. Stats, like how you see in different buildings have different kind of statistics. Those are these lines with percentages. Maybe the easiest to understand if I show you the personal one. So people has like health, how much oxygen they have, how much temperature, water, food, how tired they are, and how happy they are, and these individually can go up and down. Those are the stats. But buildings has stats as well. Different buildings has different ones. I don't think I have everything here added yet, but I have a couple of them. So for example, a simple platform, it only has structural integrity, kind of health. Yeah, I don't really add much more for the other ones yet, but I already have the plans and the designs for the extra ones. Oh, maybe the balloon was the only one where I put more. Yes, so this one has a stat for the structural integrity, the fuel amount. So if you want to change, it have to be refill it from the gas reserves, and also you can select the amount of how much pressure you put on the balloons, which gives you more or less lift. Solar panels will have how much power they give. The batteries will have how much the power what they give. It's or how much power is stored at the moment. Buildings itself not, but like the domes, but the domes will have different machines in them, so they can have multiple of them. It's really foggy. Storage ones will have, because there is 4 storage tank, you will have different values there as well. So those are the stats, and they handled by one system called the stats system, which is send changes to anybody who is listening, really. And also I have, when I'm listening to this, I have this stud band. so there is like the green, the yellow or red state we are, and there is a special one for when we are at 0. So I build this platform graphs, which is checking all the interconnected parts, and then create the hash map of or hash set of damaged or the function ones, and then update the status of each. That's not necessarily coming from there. That's when we do the state change. So that's just for update. But technically, we search for all the connected components, collect buildings in one section. That's what I said when this is trying to get the different groups. And then when we have a set on the Crumble IDs and it is more than one section exists or node set exists, interconnected node sets exist, then I send a request to Crumble the buildings, which is happening in the building construction manager. Has a new section there called replace Crumble building. So it's technically takes out the functioning building and replace it with a different one which can shutter and has different colliders and rigid bodies on it. Let me just show you the different ones. So the normal one, the normal buildings, I don't need to play this. So the normal buildings are more go towards functionality, and then so it has a stats holder which holds all the structural integrity, for example, different colliders, so all the NPCs can walk around avoiding the doors, for example. Some other colliders to stop you able to make sure you're not able to click on in building mode. That's how I blocked it. Was easier than actually do a lookup. And then all the different elements not really have a colliders or anything on. It has an entity ID, so I can identify what kind of entity it is and what kind of type of entity it is. And oh, that's interesting. Why I have the capsule? Why I have a capsule collider on that? Oh, I think I know. Do I have on that? Yeah, I have. I think that's a selection node for a certain in a build mode. Okay, Jona, yes. When you want to able to click on a building, so I can get the details. I think I detect that with that collider. Yes. And then if I go to the Crumble version of the same building, then you see a lot of craziness going on there. And all the top bit are broken to different parts. Wait, if you see the different sections, and that's the way I can. So I replace with this version the original one, so it can split and collide and fall down and fly away different directions. So that's kind of the trick. But I don't want to have so many rigid bodies and colliders normally when you play, because it just would be a waste of resources. Of course, there will be a issue of cleaning up all those. So I want to use what I didn't add yet, some pooling for these. Yeah, I will see. I will see how is that goes. But so far it was performant enough. I'm very careful to make these only collidable with themselves, really, and not with everything else, especially because so many different levels of colliders are going on for the different elements. So yeah, that's one of the example. And then, for example, on this one, it just has a couple of groups of elements. And here in the tongues, one of the fun bit is have a smoke, and also it's propelled out, so it's kind of shoots out and then falls down later, while some smoke coming out in the back end. Technically, I'm simulating these are breaking, and then kind of the pressure coming out shoots the tongues out of the air. And the same way here in the balloon, the most of these parts are falling down, but the balloon itself, with some of the bits attached, it actually flies upward when the city crumbles. So just giving different kind of feel visually for the city collapse. So yes, that's kind of what I could do quickly to run over how this works. I can dive in deeper in it. Just let me know in the description, or no, in the comments under the description, if you would like to go very detailed of line by line how it works, and also please like and subscribe. And then I've tried to do even coding sessions in the next weeks while I'm working on this game. So see you then. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.